Lanzante, possibly the world's greatest automotive workshop. Today we're going to do a tour, a very boring tour of a very interesting place. We're kicking it off with a Zonda R that has been disassembled. When it's reassembled, this will be road legal. It's kind of what Lanzante really focuses on. They take wild, track-only hypercars and make them road legal. Quite the value prop, to be honest. This particular car is owned by, I think, Mike Yin, who has about 7 Paganis. His dad is a billionaire. Pretty convenient. And over here you can actually see the subframe of the Zonda R. A lot of CNC machined aluminium. Very nice stuff. There's a Pagani C12. Very early Zonda. And to be honest, in any other workshop that car would be like the standout car, but at Lanzante it's pretty average. Really just showing the kind of caliber of cars that Lanzante has. Here we have a Huayra R. This one is currently standard. Look at that carbon work, it's absolutely exceptional. And you can really see the progression of the carbon work from 20 years ago to now with Pagani. 20 years ago it was pretty good, but now it's just unbelievable. And again, this one is being converted to be a road car. It's going to be the first Huayra R to be road legal. And they're currently designing the parts to make that a road legal car. Here we have 2 McLaren F1 GTRs. You're actually looking at about £40 million worth of cars there. So these 2 cars were actually race cars. So they raced in real championships at Le Mans, at the World Endurance Championships. Nice red cam cover to match the car there. And of course these were converted to be road legal as well. As you can see, there's a bit of a common theme here. And I think these kicked out about 600 horsepower, a little bit less than the F1 road car. But that's mainly because they had to put a restrictor on for the race series. BMW France, a sponsor of this one. Pretty iconic livery. Over here we have a British flag. Great Britain. There we go. France and Great Britain teaming up. And a nice blue cam cover there to match the car. And the interior, pretty raw, and that seat looks very lightweight. Like that a lot. Front louvers have been blocked up on this one. I guess that to prevent dirt from going on the windscreen for a road car. The brakes, probably exceptional back in the day, but compared to today's technology, probably average. Well, average of a supercar. You see those rear tyres, 345. Wow, that is a lot of tyre. I think 992 GT3 RS might have that much tyre. Maybe a Koenigsegg, but very few cars have that wider tyre. Anyway, here we have an old Porsche. This one is a 930 turbo in this beautiful mint green. And as you guessed it, there's something special about this one. It has a Formula 1 engine in it. A 1.5 litre V6 from 1983. This one was actually in Alain Prost's McLaren F1 car, like the actual engine that raced. It's been detuned a bit from 1,000 horsepower down to 500, and I think it revs to 9,000 versus 11 or more in the F1 car. And those massive radiators is what you need to do when you try and fit a water-cooled motor into an air-cooled 911. Here we have a Porsche 935. So this, based on a GT2 RS, it was rebodied, price increased and made track only. And you probably guessed it, this one is being converted to be road legal. And you see those slats in the front wings there? that is where the headlights are going to go. Typical Porsche suspension there, McPherson strut, no double wishbone until you get to the 992 GT3. That is a P1 engine, and that is a P1. This particular one is being converted to a HDK, high downforce kit, and I think this one's owned by Andy B. Again, an Instagrammer, you can check him out. A lot of gloss carbon on the interior there. P1s usually have matte carbon in there. And the P1 HDK has a few upgrades. First of all, a lot of the bodywork will be like the P1 GTR, and they have to upgrade like the uprights and things to deal with the extra downforce. And Lanzante really thinks about all these details. I think that's why they stand out. Just looking over here at a P1 GTR now. This one again is being converted to road use, and interior very bare. Those seats, replicas of those out of the F1 GTR. I really like them, probably can't afford them. And the steering wheel, very much more kind of a hybrid between a GT3 and a Formula steering wheel. Now looking at the back here, you can see no engine. That was the engine you saw earlier. And look at the size of that rear wing. It's a bit of a beast, isn't it? Also got some little actuators there, so I guess it has some kind of DRX functionality. Now just nipping back over to the HDK. See here, bit of gold plating. Nod to the McLaren F1 of old. P1s didn't have the gold plating, but Lanzante adds that for the HDK. Beautiful exhaust. And the motor in this upgraded from 3.8 to 4 litres. That takes the total power output from like 903 horsepower to around 1,000, including the hybrid. So a little bit more power than the P1 GTR. There's a bit of a zoom in on the suspension. As I said, the uprights been upgraded to deal with the additional downforce. There's underneath of a P1 GTR. Quick last look inside there. There's the matte carbon finish versus the gloss carbon finish. I think I prefer the matte finish. It will reflect less off the windscreen as well. It just looks cooler. And here's another P1. Now, I don't know what kind of P1 this is. If it's GTR, if it's a normal P1, if it's a HDK, if it's an LM, I'm not sure. Sorry I can't give you more information there, but it's very much dismantled again. So you can see those orange cables are for the hybrid power unit, and those beautiful carbon wheel arch liners. I'm going to say unnecessary, but really cool. Again, nice gold heat shield on the exhaust. Now we move into the showroom area of McLaren Petersfield, and a $20 million car here. The paintwork is exceptional. It's absolutely immaculate. Inside the car there, you can see the seat is a different colour from the rest of the interior. That's to make the seat stand out. And this car looks like almost brand new. But I guess if you can afford a $20 million car, you can spend some money on maintaining it and keeping it looking very new. Nice bit of a carbon wing on the windscreen wiper there. I guess that's to keep it down at those ridiculously high speeds. Now this is what a P1 HDK looks like in finished form. So you can see a lot of the P1 GTR bodywork there. Inside, this one has the matte carbon, and it also has the painted kind of air intakes, which is rare to see on the P1, and some carbon fiber wheels in silver. I'm going to presume the center piece is made out of magnesium, but the outer part is carbon fiber. So you go, quick zoom in on the specs. A lot of power, a lot of downforce, So they say this car is like in between, in between a P1 and a P1 GTR. P1 GTR is apparently too hard for the road. P1, I can't imagine being too soft for the road, but it's in between, you know. And here is a normal P1. I kind of prefer the look of this. A little bit simpler, but still wild looking. And I really like that rear wing, very nicely sculpted. Just look at the shape of that. And of course that can be sit down there as well to reduce downforce. Now, just into a very geeky area. Lanzante keeps documents of all of the cars that they maintain, so they maintain a lot of McLaren F1s, of course the tag Porsches, I think I saw a 250 GTO in there, plus some other cool stuff. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you all for watching. See you next time.